Hey here. Blech. Yeah, way to start off. Okay, hi, this is Beth. And another installment on Froud's Faery Oracle. It's card number 2, which is Ekstasis. If you think it sounds a lot like ecstasy, that's because what it's based on. And if you look at this card, you see kind of, you almost have like the chakra points on it, or the points of the Sephira up into wings, and the explosion at the top of it, power and light and power. And what this card is, it's pretty much the song that runs through the universe. That's right, Mina. Mina agrees. It's the song that runs through the universe, and it flows through everything. There really is no escaping this card and this energy from Ekstasis. It's always there. And it flows through the earth, the trees, the universe, the earth, you, me, everything. The table that my computer is resting on when I film this, it flows through the computer. The song is everywhere. It's everything. And it's pretty much always going to be there. There is kind of a buffer, though, when it comes to the corporeal and Ekstasis, and to the song that it brings with it. Because it's not something that we can really hear with our human ears. And that amount of energy, that's a lot of energy for a human body to take in. So there's always kind of a slight buffer between you and direct contact with Ekstasis. So it's not like we can touch this, you might be able to just kind of ding on it. You're not going to get like a whole filling up with this card, and you really don't want to. It's kind of one of those things where you open yourself so far up, and then you kind of head into the road onto madness, because it's just way too much for you to freaking handle. And it also, much like unity, because this card also plays along with unity, because it is part of it in many ways. It touches on unity, and once again reminds us that everything's connected, that we're connected to the universe, and that nothing is actually singular. And it's when we feel separated from Ekstasis that we tend to have that feeling of being overwhelmed, that things aren't going right in life. And it's not, it's like you can block the flow off. You can it's not really you block it, it's more you shunt it away from you. It's like somehow as humans find ways to deflect it from entering through us and helping us run our lives in an effective and happy, joyful manner. Because this card is ecstasy. It is bliss. It's that bliss of spiritual attainment, of getting to unity and feeling the force of the universe really, really there in our lives and moving through us. So when you do feel separated with it, just take a minute, stop and recenter, ground and center, bring it all back down to the core of you so you can get back into the flow of things. You can tap back into that song of the universe. Opening to it, you're never really not open. Shutting it off, is kind of, because it's harder to do, because it's in everything and it's part of you. But when you when you're struggling in joy and bliss, happiness, all those nice, positive feelings, for lack of a better word, and it's not even necessarily the positive feelings, it's all feelings, because Ekstasis does include those times where you may be mourning something, you may feel grief. And this card, when we feel those things, reminds us to feel them. That joy and grief are all part of the song of life, and that one is not necessarily better than the other. It's like that positive and negative emotions It's a duality that I try to avoid. I mean, to a certain extent, with language, it's hard to convey those things without using positive or negatives. And Ekstasis calls us to remember that what we consider negative can also just be part of what we need to feel. You know, there are times you're going to be angry, and there are times you're going to be angry for a damn good reason. And then you need to be able to feel that anger and express it in a way that is beneficial to your life. And that's what Ekstasis is going to help bring you. And you're feeling positive emotions or negative emotions, it's going to just keep you going and remind you that it's okay. It's okay to feel those things. It's all part of life. Everything is born, lives. Sometimes it procreates, sometimes it doesn't. And it will eventually die. And that's all part of that song. And we really need to remember that when, as humans, we tend to get, oh my God, I want to feel all those good things. You know, we want the joy, we want the happy, we want the bliss, we want those really good feelings that's, make our lives feel really yummy. And we're, you know why you're here when everything feels yummy. It's when things don't feel yummy that I think Ekstasis especially really comes into play. It's like I've been started back on money issues. I took a break, and Ekstasis really is something, as I'm doing this, it makes me remember that I need to bring this energy back into that area of working on my money issues, because you always know you're close to a breakthrough when you're like, your ego's like, don't do it. Oh, this is so stupid. Don't do it. That's not bliss. That's not Ekstasis. That's not unity talking. That's your ego talking. And your ego's job is to keep you safe and in the status quo. Ego does not like change. It doesn't, it's happy with feeling the happy it knows, but the happy it doesn't know is a whole other ballpark. And I'm reaching for that happy I don't know. So the ego's just like, oh God, we got to keep in this false belief of working for nonprofits, which is where I came from out of college, I was a Vista, and then I worked for several nonprofits before going back to the kitchen and working the line and doing some pastry chefing. And I had this belief that I'm working through now from years ago that I work in nonprofits, I'm never going to have money. This belief and the feelings it's creating in my life is part of that song. It's part of me working out my issues within Ekstasis. And by doing that, of being able to say, this is just resistance. This resistance is there because my ego wants me to stay where I am in what it knows and not move into something that's going to really align me in ecstasy, in bliss, and bring me what I need to live my life fully. And that's what Ekstasis is really about, especially when you're feeling those crap times and you feel like you may be cut off from this, is that you need to just keep going, keep doing the work on yourself and your issues. And even if you're happy, there always seems like there's something there in your life that needs to be tweaked to keep that adjustment going. And that's what Ekstasis reminds us to do, is to honor all our emotions, honor all our feelings, honor our issues, honor our not issues. It's all part of the song of life. It's part of the song of the universe. And so are you. And, you think about what would life be like if you were always in a state of bliss. It'd be pretty awesome, but at the same time, I think as a human, achieving bliss constantly would be a little straining. I think we can be happy, yeah. I'm not saying that, we're all damned to be unhappy most of the time. But without, because we're human, we make mistakes. And it's those mistakes that really, really bring us back to the song. And I think that's all I have to say on this one. Just remember, Ekstasis, the song that flows through the universe, good or bad, it's all part of the song. Blessed be. You guys have a wonderful day, and I'll be talking to you soon. Bye-bye.